All right, here we go. Draft time. We got a big draft ahead of us because we have quite a few draft picks. I believe at least 4 in the second round. I can't even see the full extent of the list of our draft picks because it goes off the screen. So yeah, we have quite a few picks to go through, and let's get started. So picking first will be the Anaheim Ducks, and they will take Austin Barthium. So he's a 2.5-star ability, 5-star potential. Looks like a good offensive defenseman there. And with the second pick, Alfred Bishop to the Minnesota Wild. Then you have Philip Malovich to the Washington Capitals. And then Bjorn Weiss will go to the Carolina Hurricanes. Sean Getty will go to the St. Louis Blues at number 5. Xavier Bouchard is still there, who's a 3.5-star ability. I can't imagine he'll drop to us at 13, but maybe he's still there. See what happens at number 6. That'll be Randy Schmidt to the Florida Panthers. Then you have Felix Valcourt to the Montreal Canadiens. Number 8, you have Xavier Bouchard. Okay, he goes to the Dallas Stars. Let's take a look at him. Yeah, he would have been good to pick at 13 for sure. But unfortunately, Dallas did take him, so let's simulate up to our first pick at number 13. So you have Reto Keller. Seems like he's quite a ways away. Even though he is the 1.5-star ability, he is the 3.5-star potential as well. 20 points last year with Bern, 78 grade. Looks pretty good, but we don't necessarily need a center. I would prefer a defenseman. Juhani Melanin, he's very sturdy it looks like, so can't imagine he'll be getting injured too much, if at all. 71 grade last year in the Finnish league, 27 points in 54 games. Definitely looks like an offensive defenseman based off his current ratings. His defensive ratings aren't really there. And then there's David Bateman, the goaltender, but we already do have Alan Manning. Dalton Dobias. He's a 2-star ability, 3-star potential. Yeah, overall NHL readiness-wise, I would say Dalton Dobias is the most ready. That might not be the worst thing, drafting Dalton Dobias. A lot of penalty minutes last year. Holy moly, 306. And that's a huge increase from the year before, 45 to 306. What in the world? He's projected to go 82, though, so I don't know. We'd probably be able to get him later on. What about Keller? Where's he going? 16? Then what about Melanin? 17? Okay, well, our next pick is at 16. I think what I might do here is take Melanin because we do need defensemen. We also need wingers, though. So maybe Tobias at 16? Or actually, I might wait for him for the second round. So I take Melanin and Keller, presuming he's still there at 16, and then Tobias in the second, yeah. I think that's what I might do. So even though Keller is more skilled, I think I'm going to take Melanin because we do need defenseman prospects. So yeah, Melanin, welcome to Ottawa. All right, let's simulate ahead to 16 and hopefully our guy Keller is still there. Bateman, the goaltender, goes 14 to the Oilers. 15, Reto Keller. At least we did get the defenseman though. We did need the defenseman pretty badly, so I'm glad we picked him up. And now at this point, there's nothing beyond 3-star potentials, so I may as well just take Tobias, because Tobias is by far the most NHL ready out of all those guys. So Tobias, welcome to Ottawa. And simulating ahead to the second round, there is only one 2.5-star available. That is Joseph Pavlou. He has only a 1-star ability. He's going to take a while to develop, I have a feeling. But that 2.5-star potential is decent, so yeah, I'll take him. Pavlou, welcome to the Ottawa Senators. And now our next pick at 45. Is there anybody else I want? Yikes, this is not a particularly deep draft. Elias Erlandson is kind of jumping out at me, at least for this point in the draft. He's already a 1.5-star ability, but he's only a 1.5-star potential, so I'm not sure he's going to have too much room to grow. He's projected to be picked at 39, so it's already past the time when he was supposed to be picked. If he does grow, if he does have a good season in the SHL, I could see him growing. But I'll definitely add him to the draft list. He's the most interesting prospect I've seen so far, at least of the ones that are available. Yeah, I think I'll take Erlandson. So Erlandson, welcome to Ottawa. We still have 3 second-round picks left. Honestly, I might trade them. I might just trade those picks because there's no one jumping out at me anymore. Those were the only players who I could honestly say I might use at some point, being the ones that we already drafted. So yeah, I might just see if I could flip them for like a first for next year or something. Because this draft really was not good in terms of depth. All right, let's see if I can do this. Boston and Edmonton's seconds for Anaheim's first for next year. Not interesting. Okay, I figured. What if I added LA's third? Not moving to high draft pick. Okay. What about Vegas? Could I get Vegas's first? That's a bit much for a first, especially for Vegas's first, because they were the Stanley Cup champions and a 60-win team. So I don't know. I'm not sure what to do with these picks, but I know I'm not using them. That is for certain. There's just nothing there that I'm interested in. But at the same time, I don't want these picks to go to waste, at least value wise. You know, like I'll use the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th. But I do want to flip the 2nds and the 3rds. Probably for prospects that have already been drafted or just young players and roster players in general. Because clearly a first round pick is not happening. And like I said, there's just no one available in the draft that I'm interested in. Okay, so I found this guy, Steiner, who is a prospect of San Jose. He seems like one of those guys who is going to get ignored by the computer for whatever reason. And I don't want to sign those guys out of free agency, like, you know, for free, but I will trade for them. There's nothing against trading for them. So I want to try to trade for this guy because he's had over a point per game in the German league for the past 3 years. Like, why would you not sign him? Like, there's something going on there. So I would like to trade for him instead of just, you know, them leaving him unsigned for who knows how long. It's not like he was just picked, right? He was picked 2 years ago in the draft, and they still leave him unsigned, even though he is clearly NHL ready. So I want to go after Steiner. I want to see if I can trade for him. Honestly, it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough trade because he's a 3-star ability, 4-star potential. There's a pretty good chance he could be a very good player. I mean, he's already a good player, but there's a pretty good chance he could be like a first-line winger. I'd be willing to give up all 3 of my 2nds for this, and maybe even a 3rd, and maybe even someone else. I don't know, because Steiner looks good. He's 20, and as we've seen, there is just nothing available in the draft that I'm interested in. So I want to trade for Steiner here. All right, so I'll start with the 3 2nds. How does that look? Okay, if I can unload Jansa here, because it says they will probably accept this offer. So Jansa, 3 2nds and a 3rd for Steiner. Can I take one of the 2nds off? I can. Okay, so they need 2 2nds on there. What about the 3rd? Can I take that off? No. They would still be below the cap floor. That doesn't make sense. What is your salary cap looking like? 78 million. You are not below the salary cap floor. All right, then back to square one. I'll put the 3 2nds on there and the 3rd. And then I suppose Balding, I'll probably accept this. What if I take off Winnipeg 2nds? They'll accept it. So Balding, 2 2nds and a 3rd. Nice. Okay. So there you go. There is your hopefully star winger of the future in Steiner. So it was quite a bit to give up, I'll admit. It was quite a bit, but like I said, this guy's hopefully our star winger of the future. So now we can simulate ahead. So 1 pick went by. David Janacek was taken by the San Jose Sharks. So if we had selected there, we would have had 3 second-round picks in a row. Yeah, it's a good thing we made that trade. There's just nothing interesting here in this draft. So I'm going to take another look at every team's prospect list and see if I can find another gem like Steiner. Although hopefully a defenseman. That's what I'm looking for. I think one who I'm considering here is Dmitry Machenko from Pittsburgh. He's 21 years of age, 2-star ability, 3.5-star potential. They haven't signed him yet. They drafted him in 2040 in the first round, 13th overall. So based off that, I'm going to guess they're not signing him. Either that or he just doesn't want to play in the NHL, in which case this might be a wasted trade, but I think it's worth a shot. So let's make this trade with the Pittsburgh Penguins, especially because we need defensemen, right? Like, I'm willing to take a chance on this, especially considering that it's going to cost a pick that we weren't going to use anyway. So how much are you looking for Machenko here? Okay, that's obviously not enough. So a 2nd, a 4th, and the rights to harms will work, according to this. Will they take it? They will. All right, so I think that was a pretty successful draft overall. I mean, I know we haven't finished the draft itself yet, but Steiner and Machenko were, other than our first round picks, were the highlights of that draft for sure. So let's just go ahead to the draft and simulate to our next pick, which shouldn't be until the 5th round, I believe. So yeah, we are ahead to the 5th round now. So Martin Pluhar, I actually saw this name earlier because as I was flipping through the prospects looking for anyone who might potentially be interesting. He does actually have a 16 for puck handling, 17 determination. Nothing's particularly low, so I think I'll take him. Martin Pluhar. welcome to Ottawa. And he has the 1.5 star potential too, so he may grow into a depth player. And it appears we're still in the 5th round here. We had 2 5th round picks. I guess I'll take one of these guys, Knobloch or Straka. I'll take Straka because he has the 14 positioning and then the 15 determination, whereas Knobloch has 11 positioning, 17 determination. So I like his determination. Like, I like the mental ratings on Knobloch, but I like the positioning on Straka more. Like, I think he'll be a more well-rounded player overall. So Peter Straka, welcome to Ottawa. And then 6th round, this is our last pick of this draft. There is a goaltender, Dmitry Gorbanev, who is the only 1.5 star potential left. There's also Jan Uras, who looks pretty interesting with that 17 getting open. He had 92 points last year in the OHL. He was supposed to be picked 32nd as well, so that might be grounds enough to take him, at least in this situation, you know. He also won the Best Rookie Award. Yeah, well, I'll take him based off that. Like, that's a pretty good resume, and I don't see why not. So, Jan Uras, welcome to Ottawa. And there you go. That is the draft. So, pretty good. I mean, obviously, it wasn't too deep of a draft, but I think the picks that we did make were pretty solid. And obviously, we acquired a couple of big players in Steiner and Machenko. And it looks like both of them, honestly, are ready to play in the NHL probably as soon as this year. I mean, definitely for Steiner. Definitely playing in the NHL this year. But for Machenko, maybe he might be able to use one more year. But besides that, I think they're pretty much good to go. Standing, unfortunately, is going to be signing in college. But at least he's not with the Toronto Marlies anymore. So not helping out our rivals there. As for Tobias, he might be able to play this year as well. He'll certainly get the chance. So a lot of young players coming in here this year. Obviously, Mielenin is a while away still, but point being, our prospect pool is looking much better as of now. Obviously, we still have work to do, but we certainly took a step in the right direction here. So now we have to hope that Kelly Carrier signs, because he's quite a two-way player there. Like, I'm really liking his ratings there. So I think now we'll sign Steiner. May as well sign Tobias. I'll sign Machenko. Okay. Yeah. So the NHL, he cannot be signed because he's currently under contract to a KHL team. So maybe that's why Pittsburgh didn't sign him. But nevertheless, they did get a good package. And it's not like I waited for him to go to free agency and just sign him in free agency. So hopefully we'll be able to sign Machenko next year. How long is his contract? 1 year. Okay, so yeah, hopefully next year we'll be able to sign Machenko. And then everybody else I think can stay unsigned for right now. What about Pietila? I mean, Pietila is coming along defensively, but he's just not there yet. I don't know if I would play him in the AHL either. Yeah, I'm going to say at least 1 more year for Pietila before I consider bringing him over. So yeah, getting 1 experienced winger in Carrier, 2 rookies in Tobias and Steiner. And after they sign, we should be good to head into the preseason because there's nothing else that I really want to do. I mean, obviously, I do want to trade Jansa, but yeah, besides that, I think we're done in this offseason. Nice. Kelly Carrier signs after 1 day, so he is already on board. Hopefully, he fits in well here. Still awaiting Steiner and Tobias, but it's not like any other team's going to be able to sign them, so I think we're good now. I mean, we do get 2 seconds, 1 from LA, 1 from Washington. I remember putting this trade on the board, but I didn't think I actually confirmed it. In that case, would I be able to possibly get a first for next year? No. Okay. Okay, I mean, what does our lineup look with Jansa in? We have Carrier, Marple, Schinkel, Jansa, Sanderson, Giroux, Kuzniakov, McSkimming, Merrifield, Steiner, Roussel, Coughlin, who scratched? Tobias, Murphy, Toison. I want Tobias getting playing time, presuming he's going to be on the roster. Okay, so I managed to get a first from LA for next year. What was their record for this year? Just for reference, 41, 35, and 6. Hopefully they miss next year, because that would be a nice first-round pick to have. Jansa to the LA Kings for a first complete trade. And with that, I believe we are ready to go to preseason.